Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to your Thursday night probe. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, a wonderful week. And we got an awesome guest to talk to today. But before we get to that, how's it going, Katie?
Pretty well. We're going to do the, second round, because we already had one stream in the afternoon. And we're just continuing the blast.
That's right. That's right. I think that's a trend. We should probably keep going. Stream in the morning, stream at night. I like it.
Just stream all the time, all that.
You know what I don't like is this Pale Rider's ominous messaging.
And hookahs and the glitter.
It's nothing worse than being stalked and harangued by a maniacal alcoholic.
Oh, come on. Just don't call him that. Are you trying to make him, even angrier? Come on.
Yes, I want to see what he's capable of.
You don't.
We got David in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, David.
Good to see you, brother. Blanca is joining us as well. Good to see
Blanca.
You. Glad you're here. And we got Sugar Simp.
Oh,
I have an idea that's not actually Sugar Chris.
Yeah, it might be.
See, people simp for Chris, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he wouldn't actually be the simp.
Yeah.
Got Murph and Dirk Duke it out in the house today. What's up, guys? They're going to be joining us next week, hopefully, if that's still going down to probe into the Ballad of the Celestials. Tina Bojan's in the house. Welcome, Tina. Thank you for being here. We got the Squib Nation. King of the Squibs. All hail the Squib Nation.
Of course.
Good to see you, my friend.
Oh, hail.
Brutal Morningwood is joining us.
Yeah.
That's all. It's like an all-day wood going on there.
But it's brutal.
Quite brutal, yes.
It's brutal, yes.
And yes, I must agree. Best name on YouTube.
Yes.
The lovely Sherry is here. Good to see you, Sherry.
Hey, Sherry.
Thanks for being here with us today. Derek is here as well. Good to see you, my man.
Hey, man.
We got Skits in the house. What's up, Skits?
So many people doing, here. Bro? Awesome.
Hey, yeah, a lot of cool people. Like Tommy and the guinea pig.
Wait. Tony Blur.
Little toe nibbling. All right, Pale Rider. I know what you're doing. Fisk is in the house, but he's also back here with us. In fact, let's just bring him on now. What's up, Fisk?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Very well. How are you?
Man, you two are a machine this morning and this evening.
Of course.
It's just that kind of day.
A little 1-2.
Oh yeah. We got Marby Dog with us as well. Good to see you.
Oh no.
Turns out Galadriel.
Did you see those photos? I posted them in the
you know what? I think we'll go over that a little bit today.
Oh god.
Just because. Culture Casino is here. What's up, man? He says
hey,
boobies.
Culture.
Boobies.
I'm actually drawing boobies right now as we speak.
Oh, are you?
I am.
But well, let's introduce our guest for today. Man of the hour, Mike Murphy. What's up, man?
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Man of the hour, man of the action.
I tried.
Yeah. How do you feel about that being termed a man of action? Do you feel you're a man of action, Mike?
I mean, like we were talking earlier, maybe a good 4 or 5 years ago. Now, now I'm a man of slight action.
Oh. How do you identify slight action?
Yeah. No, I get the job done, but
the action is rubbing on the Benadryl.
Yeah. I need a sandwich afterwards.
You're using words I need to search in the translator again. I don't like that. I don't appreciate that.
Sugar Simp has gone wild in the chat. Nobody accept DMs from Sugar Simp. Brutal Morningwood says, fun fact, there is a certain circle of people who refer to me as all day. There's a small group of Colombian women who only call me chocolate cake. But that's a story for another stream. I want to hear that story.
I think we should have Brutal here, you're kind of talented when it comes to dragging different stories out of people, you manage to pull out the story out of Sugar Chris. So maybe we will be able to pull out the story out of Brutal.
I don't think it was really me. I think it was more the the constant harassment from his chat that got him to release those stories.
Hmm. You think so?
I do. I do think so. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Tommy. Please do share and hit that like button. I would appreciate it. But yeah, before we get to Long Shadow, I've become slightly aroused, so I'm going to hit you with this. Just to get everyone in the mood. You know?
Yeah.
That's the thing, Mike. Like when we turn on that avatar,
Mhm.
like that one that I showed you, that we already know what it is.
Of course.
You know, I
out
have the front part too.
Out of all the drawn in times that Chris has gone through on our campaigns, he's never requested that version of him.
Never once.
Well,
If he does it again,
can.
I might just go through and do it without him knowing.
You should probably ask him first.
It might be because he's actually, that version of Chris is actually Pale Rider's IP.
Yes.
So you would need permission
Oh,
from Pale Rider.
okay.
Yeah.
There's a little TM or an R in a circle after it.
Right. I'll have to include the copyright in the indicia. Yeah. Okay.
How dare you, B-Rose? How dare you? That was total cash money.
Oh
We got
my.
Sim in the house. What's up, Sim? Good to see
Hey,
you.
Sim.
Hey, Sim.
Sim, we need a confirmation. Is the sugar simp the simp or the sugar himself?
Yeah, who is the sugar simping? Is it a simp to Sugar Chris, or is it Sugar Chris being a simp to somebody else?
No, it's someone simping for Chris.
Oh,
It should be. We were hearing about some backroom simping earlier. Oh, Pale Rider already gave you permission. There you go.
All right, sweet. Watch out. You better watch out, Chris.
Oh my.
Tommy says, never request a version or a virgin. Both get damaged in transit.
Well, if you don't know that the virgin is an actually virgin, it shouldn't, or she shouldn't.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
That depends on the means of transportation, I suppose.
Oh my.
No more bicycle smiles.
Bicycle.
The reason for the season is Long Shadow, a high fantasy pulp novel.
Oh, yeah.
So what, Mike, what inspired you to go this direction this time instead of continuing with comics? Are you really into the prose? Like, is that something you want to hammer out as well?
It's something that I've wanted to do for a while. You know, like with our other campaigns, I've been messing around with it with the prequel novellas, and you know, like those who backed The Gods Fear Me and have read through that prequel novella. It's gonna kind of be the same approach here. You know, with an even mix of prose and spot illustrations. You know, putting that together, and right now I'm putting together the finishing touches on the one for Deepwell. Kind of gave me the bug a little bit to chase after something more long form. But it's also, you know, like we've got two big campaigns coming this year. We've got The Gods Fear Me 2 and we've got The Red Key. And both of those books are going to take the better part of a year to fulfill. And so, you know, I was thinking like I wanted to start the year off with like something that was like quick and not disposable in terms of like throw out, but like just like light popcorn entertainment that could be consumed quick, that I could get into people's hands fast. And you know, I started thinking about the work that I was doing on those prequel novellas, and that just led me to the idea of producing a pulp book, and here we are.
Cool, man. Well, that's something I've long said. I want to see more of that. I want to see more novels, more prose anthologies, even novellas, short stories, all of it. I want all of it.
Right.
And I'm glad to see you marching down that path as well, because I dig comics. I also dig reading, and I think honestly, if we really want to change the shape of entertainment, I think novels is probably one of the best ways to go, because you can really tell deep, in-depth stories that way, as opposed to a comic series that might take years before you get the whole story together.
Yeah, I agree. And this is something that I've been talking about in other streams. It's the idea of Sure, like when you like for those people that even remember like what pulps are, it can be kind of a tough sell. But like, when you separate it from, the classic characters and subject matter, and you just look at the format by itself, I think that there's a way to modernize it for current audiences and turn it into something that's still viable. And I think that and comics could be the bedrock of what we're trying to build here.
Absolutely, and well said.
Thank you.
Couldn't agree more. We got Metal Movies and Brewskis in the house. What's up, my man?
Hey.
Good to see you. I'm sorry. I'm being distracted by Sugar Simp here in the chat.
Always wanting to trade picks.
Yep.
Oh God.
Thirsty.
Metal Moves and Brisky says this Long Shadow is a great concept for pulp. Very creative and interesting character.
Thank you, Mel.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. You already kind of gave us a pitch, but before we get into the book itself, for anyone who might not be familiar with Mike Murphy, I want to hear a little bit about you. Like what got you into this? What drives you to tell stories? What made you say, I have these stories I want to tell, I need to tell, and I'm going to get them out there?
Yeah, man. It's that thing, like it's always been a part of my life. Superman was the first thing I ever drew. It was on a giant chalkboard. He was just a smiley face with an S and like, a D and a B for legs. So comics specifically have just been a part of my life. And I guess, I don't know, even as a kid, I just had tunnel vision. Like there was never a moment where I was like, I'm not doing this, I think it solidified for me when Batman the Animated Series premiered. Like I watched that first episode with Man-Bat, and I'm like, okay, well, clearly this is the rest of my life.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. I still remember that day, that feeling. Yeah, seeing that first episode, that hit you.
Yeah, because and like when he finally takes him out at the construction site, and like the helicopter comes up and the spotlight turns on, like just so good, man. Like those images are just burned into my head. Yeah, like there were a few years where like, I got distracted. Like I spent like 5 years through high school and college in a punk band. But even that got to a point where, like I was getting later and later for practices and shows and cutting it really close. And, I just had to have a conversation with those guys. And I'm like, look, I love what we're doing here, but art, comics, writing, like it's my life. So I don't want to like keep holding you guys back.
How did they react to that?
I mean, what level of honesty do you want?
How many F-bombs?
This is the probe, man.
Okay.
Elbow deep.
Elbow deep.
No, it was a straight up like, so like me and the singer of the band, like we were the closest friends out of all of them. And I showed up like 10 minutes late to a show and they were stalling, and I park the car, run in with my equipment, get suited up, and like the show was terrible. And afterwards, like I was like, we gotta talk, man. And we started walking around the venue, and it just turned into like both of us ugly crying. Like I didn't want to go. They didn't want me to go, but like it was this thing of like this. It's not sustainable,
Yeah, I hear you, man. I think we all kind of get into those routines. Like it starts out as something really fun and cool, but the longer you go with it, it starts to feel more like a job than the fun it was meant to be.
Yeah, and then
it can get a little distracting to the other aspects of your life.
Yeah. Once like the whole being an adult thing starts to come into play, you're like, okay, I have to make a choice here.
Yeah, being an adult sucks.
It does, man. It so does.
Anybody who is under the age of 18 right now who's still in the chat, don't wish for time to move faster. Don't want to be an adult. Just enjoy your time while you got it.
Don't age.
Yeah, youth is wasted.
Matt says been there a couple times. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, we have all been there.
So I met Selena, and we started dating, and I mean, it's that thing that you can only do like when you're really young and really stupid. We were like, let's just move out to the West Coast and make comics, and somehow it'll all work out. And we've been plugging away at this since 2005. So here we are.
And it's been working out so far.
It works out. It works out.
Yay!
Hell yeah. Sometimes the young and dumb decisions are the best ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fortune favors the bold.
Pat Ryder says, yeah, hurting strippers was a lot more funny a few years ago. I don't know, man. It seems like you're still having a good time.
Yeah. There's enjoyment to be had.
And he also asks, is Selena a real person?
Whoa!
How
Yes.
dare you?
Damn!
This guy.
Well, I didn't have a kid with
chat.
myself.
Yeah. Pat Ryder, come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
What's up, Keely Chow? Good to see you, man. But yeah, let's hear a little bit about the universe of Long Shadow. And I'm going to cut you off with one of these stingers every time, just so you know.
That's fine.
So what kind of world are we looking at here?
Yeah, like the way I describe it in the trailer is it's the hard-boiled kingdom of Elos. It's very much high fantasy in the spirit of Robert E. Howard, and this is a part of the continent, but not the entire continent. But it is the entire kingdom. So this will be the focus of the series for as long as it runs. Hopefully, upwards of 9 volumes. But let's get this one funded first. So hard boiled. There's magic, but it's not elevated to the point where we're talking D&D rule sets. So there, it's slightly grounded, and I very obviously use the term hard boiled because this is a mix of fantasy and noir. Long Shadow isn't just an ogre; he is also a detective for hire. He operates out of the town Coal on Brick, and he resides. His office space is in the back of a tavern called Amberglass.
So this is basically Pat Ryder if he were an ogre.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I just gotta say that he has a very cool hairstyle. Like what didn't fit on his sides, he pretty much just put over here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just pasted it on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really hoping that wasn't an orc because I didn't want to see you get canceled or anything.
No,
Oh, God.
no. Interestingly enough, the orc community did find me. I was like,
No, they didn't.
they did.
You're talking about the racial centric orc community?
No, just like I found orc enthusiasts, and I didn't want to break their heart and tell them, no, he's an ogre.
Oh yeah. In that case, yeah, let the illusion live out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so Long Shadow has kind of been in my head for like over a decade at this point, the character specifically, because whether it's like a pen and paper tabletop RPG or like a video game with a character creation system like Elder Scrolls or whatever, every time I get the chance to build a character, I play as Long Shadow. So he's been with me for like years now, and I know the dude inside and out. It was the world that I kind of had to build from the ground up.
Oh, gotcha. So this was a character of yours that has just stuck with you all this time. I can relate.
Yeah, so he's been the Dragonborn. He's been in like a D&D campaign or two. Like he's the guy that I roll with.
Very cool.
That is very cool. You know what else is very cool? Brian Christkow. Good to see
Brian.
you, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Wait a
Brian.
minute.
Very
Are
cool.
you feeling depressed, Brian? You didn't come into the chat screaming "wee doggies." Something's off.
Is this
Oh,
Brian?
my.
Is this really Brian, or is
Yeah.
this
Who
Sugar
are
Simp
you?
in disguise?
Oh my god. Now we need to doubt everybody in the chat. That's horrible.
Everyone's
The
suspect.
secret war of Sugar Simp.
Well, speaking of Long Shadow, let's talk a little bit more about him and who he might be dealing with in this.
You got it.
Who is Long Shadow as a person?
Long Shadow is an ogre that wanted more for himself. He kind of took a look at the prospects for the rest of his life, which was basically, like just think of the life of an ogre. He could live in the forest and like kill deers for sustenance. He could hide out in abandoned dungeons and kill random adventurers. He could live under a bridge, or he made the decision to step away from all of that and try to integrate himself into the world of man. Now, naturally, because he's an ogre, there was a lot of pushback to that, and that's where our prequel novella, A Murder in Amberglass, comes in. So basically, 8 years ago, he arrives in Colon Brick and stops by Amberglass for a drink and some food before he continues on his way looking for a home. And within 30 minutes of him being there, there's a murder, and naturally, all eyes are on the 7-foot-tall ogre. So he kind of has to, clear his name and solve a locked door mystery all at the same time. And it's at that point that the town starts to welcome him in, and he, finds a place to call home.
An ogre solving a mystery. That's a
Yeah.
new one.
Yeah.
What is that guy holding in his hand? Is that like a katana?
That's a great question. That is a katana.
Oh God, I was like wondering, like, okay, what is he holding? What is he doing?
Yeah, I a couple days ago I made the announcement that the Long Shadow isn't just the debut for Long Shadow, it's also going to be the first canonical appearance of the Red Key, our big superhero character that's launching this summer.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
Mm-hmm. And
that's interesting. I want to ask you how it mixes in, but I feel like that might be spoiler territory.
I mean, I'll go as far as I can without talking spoilers. So this is how should I put it? This is a later version of the Red Key than when you meet the Red Key in book 1.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's a mantle type of thing.
Yeah. Basically, like I've made it pretty clear that I'm building up a Murphyverse, a real Murphyverse, not a Sean Gordon Murphyverse, the real Murphyverse. And all of our books are connected, and it's not MCU connected. Think more Stephen King connected, where each thing is its own individual story. But hopefully if you're a big enough fan that you'll invest yourself into all of our books, you'll start to notice threads that connect here and there, and
like Easter eggs.
Yeah, exactly. And so the Red Key is kind of our linchpin to the entire thing. He's, for lack of a better phrase, he's the Dark Tower.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's cool.
So is Elos like Castle Rock?
You are asking great questions, man.
Fisk is known to do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're even lucky to get a really, really good answer. So there. Oh my God, I still remember that one stream, where we were asking and like nothing out of it. That was depressing.
Oh no.
It happens.
Yeah.
Brian says, no feeling worse than feeling like you're letting your friends down.
What?
Man, listen, I don't know what's going on with you, brother, but whatever it is, don't let it eat at you. Everybody here loves you. You got friends, man. If you need to reach out, please do.
Yeah, man. Drop a line if you need to.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You're a good dude, man. I can't imagine you letting anybody down, so.
And Brian, if we're not making fun of you, we don't like you. That means we just love you.
I just wanted to hear wee doggies. That's all.
I know.
Gonna get my daily fix, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just I know it's just text, but I can hear it every time.
Yeah. The synthesia there.
Pet Rider says, "Oh, and upon the Sugar Chris pleading, I won't be taking my revenge tonight and obliterating the stream."
Oh,
well, thank you for your benevolence, Pale Rider. Let's see. I'm sure I have an appropriate response around here somewhere. Oh, here we go.
Suck my dick, PT Principal.
Oh my God! Are you sure you want to piss off Pale Rider out of all people?
The army of strippers coming after you.
Yeah, covered in glitter.
There's worse ways to go.
Yeah, that's true.
If you gotta.
Like the Monty Python and the Meaning of Life, where he's chased by all the hot chicks with
Right.
dives right off the cliff into the coffin.
Right, or the coven in Holy Grail.
Yeah, naughty.
Are you sure he's gonna die chasing when it comes to like bunch of strippers? I don't know.
You're not
Yeah, I
gonna
never
chase very
understood that.
far. I'm a smoker.
Oh, please don't catch me. Oh, I tripped.
So, Mike, what kind of villains are we looking at in this story?
Yeah, man. So the first volume focuses on the Prince of Echoes, and it's essentially a vampire story, and I know everybody says this, but I wanted my own take on vampires. And what I came up with is the Prince of Echoes is a parasitic being that think of like a mystical take on the Thing. Instead of draining the blood, he literally drains the soul from a human host and takes over the body. And when the body expires, he simply finds a new host and consumes that person's soul. So the Prince of Echoes has kind of appeared out of nowhere in Old Country, which is there was a great war in Elos hundreds of years ago, and that land was kind of left dead and uninhabitable, except for, like, someone described it perfectly on another stream. It's basically the wrong side of the tracks. You know, like the criminals, the extremely poor, the unfortunate in society have kind of claimed Old Country as their own. And this is where the Prince of Echoes has set up to roost and is kind of just massacring everyone that lives there. And so Redlocks, a mysterious mystical woman, she's the one in the hot springs with the sword to Longshadow's chest. She comes to Longshadow with the proposition to, hey, can you go into Old Country, investigate the Prince of Echoes, and deal with him?
Very cool. Well,
I love that map.
That's a good setup, man. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, the map's pretty cool too.
Yeah, it reminds me, you know, like how much fun I had drawing mine, and there's like a tutorial on YouTube, you know, how to build the maps, and there's a part 1, just draw the area, part 2, draw the hills, part 3,
Right.
draw the trees, and it was like okay, click, draw,
Right,
click.
right.
So much fun.
Yeah, this was this was my first time actually rendering an entire map, and it was basically just for function. Like I needed to know what Elos actually was and what it looked like and where he could go, and travel distances and all that. And fortunately, I learned that in CG, people are thirsty for maps because it was one of the first things that sold.
Nice.
Yeah, people love the maps. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not too wild about the galaxy maps though, and I see why. These maps are much more interesting.
Mhm.
But galaxy maps are important.
They are. They are.
We got Riot Kitty in the chat. What's up, Riot? Good to see you. We got Sugar Simp. I like your style, Mr. Red. Are your DMs open? They are, but I tend not to notice them if I'm not actually following you. Sugar Simp. What about's in the chat? What's up? How you doing?
Hey,
man?
what about?
Hey, thank you. What about?
I hope so, Brian. I'm glad you're here, man. And no, they're just chatting amongst themselves. Now that is a topic. That is an interesting take on a vampire. I know that's difficult to do too. Yeah, find a new way to kind of make a vampire something different. But yeah, that's definitely a cool one, and it sounds like something awfully dangerous that poor Longshadow might have to face.
Yeah. He's going to have to do some detective work and figure out a way to approach this guy and take him out.
Yeah, because does he have any Longshadow have any magical properties about him, or any like equipment that might help him out?
Yeah. So the approach that I take to Longshadow whenever I play him in a game is he's mostly focused on, obviously brute strength and, combat with weapons, but he does have limited magical training. He can't rewrite the laws of the universe, but in a pinch, like he can cast like a fire or an ice spell or an illumination spell, like the basics. And so if there's anything kind of above his pay grade when it comes to the mystical stuff, that's where Rinsmore comes into play. The analogy I've been using is Rinsmore is kind of hit the cue to Long Shadow's James Bond. And Rinsmore is this forest entity. He was once a man, and he started worshiping a forest god and actually gave himself over to the forest god and was transformed into like somewhere between like an ent and a wood spirit. And he's more than a little inspired by Alan Moore.
Nice.
Is it the look that's inspired?
Yeah, he's like I can't remember if you scrolled past him or not. He might be further down. But yeah, basically, like I just got it stuck in my head, like all the snake god stuff that Alan Moore is always going on about. Like, what if that actually worked out for him? What would happen to Alan Moore? That was kind of the genesis of Rinsmore.
Gotcha. Okay, good. Brian was referring to the punk rock band story. Awesome.
Oh,
Good,
yeah,
man. I like
I have
that.
one
Not
question.
down.
Yeah, what's up?
Why did you put the sword there?
I
I mean,
the
look,
answer is obvious.
Keep it family
she's
friendly.
nothing if not modest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
I mean, I would understand those long hair, but
But
Come on, man.
I'll tell you. So Preston Acevedo is working on our alternate cover because he's our artist for all of our alternate covers, and the focus is going to be on Redlocks. And I told him he can go full for Zeta if he wants. So
Oh, look out! Look
Does
out!
the carpet match the rocks?
yeah, so we'll see. I leave it up to him to decide how he's going to handle that, but we'll see.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
Everyone
Landing strip.
got quiet all of a sudden,
Yeah.
just thinking of the possibilities.
Yeah.
yeah, that too.
That's a tier where you could design the.
Right.
No, it just made me remember the conversation we had in the previous stream about how woke people react to certain things. So
Of course, yeah.
that's the
Well,
only
that's good.
thing.
That's good when
Yeah.
they react like that.
Right. Yeah, and in part that's the entire mission statement behind Long Shadow. I wanted a return to pulp. I wanted a return to high fantasy. I wanted a return to like the Robert E. Howard stuff, the Frazetta stuff. I wanted that the bedrock that all got us into this stuff in the first place. I wanted a modern take on that, without shying away from all the stuff that would make those certain people screech.
Nice.
Absolutely. We got Big Rodge in the house, one of our awesome members. Good to see you, man. Thanks for
Yep.
being here.
Amen. See, Krampus Nacht is actually asking serious questions there.
Yes. Is the sword overcompensating?
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, the question I always put out there is you have to ask, like, does she own the sword or does the sword own her?
Oh,
That's an excellent
sentient
question.
weapon.
Yeah. I do love my sentient weapons.
And thanks for
Very
being here, Krampus Nacht. There we go. We finally got it.
There you go.
Doggies.
Scream it out, Fisk.
Woohoo, doggies.
There we go.
Oh my!
Thank you, Brian. Brian Kitty says an Alan Moore as a wood sprite would be interesting.
Yes.
I just want to say,
my
like,
friend.
if the woman is non-stop like running around naked,
Mhm.
then yeah, I would definitely like agree with that sword. I mean, like,
Right.
and I'm completely straight. Just saying. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, this is a noir story, and we needed a femme fatale, and Redlocks is definitely our femme fatale.
Just careful if you decide to make this into a movie. Yeah, you have a redhead there.
Of course, yeah, no, yeah.
You know what happens to redheads.
Yes.
Ginger
Yeah,
side.
They get
She's
the
not
axe.
going to be a BIPOC in a wheelchair. Don't worry.
So So it won't be on the new Amazon Lord of the Rings.
No, we're not. No, we're not looking for an Amazon deal.
Would you consider a combat wheelchair?
Dude, I haven't played D&D in years, but I saw that stuff and I'm like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I thought the whole point of fantasy was to avoid like crappy reality things. Like nobody wants to be in a wheelchair.
Right.
Yay!
Well, speak for yourself, Fisk. What do you know?
I know you want to be in the recliner.
How dare you speak for the
Leave me alone, I'm baiting.
Turns out all the bad guys need to stop her stairs.
Fisk just walks in here like,
there's a new sheriff in town, and this is his badge.
Nobody's going to rank to the disabled.
I just love when you play those, like, and I can actually see Sugar in the back room, Sugar. I'm sorry, I meant Chris Fisk. Never mind. Like in the back room, all laughing.
Hey, Sugar.
that's the second time today one of us had a Freudian slip about Sugar Chris.
Yeah, but I wasn't that serious.
Can't get enough of that Sugar Crisp.
Heck no. That writer says at least Katie hasn't said elbow deep yet.
Yeah.
I did. You missed it. You were too busy just switching between the accounts.
I think that might be it. What's up, Marinus? How you doing, man? No, we're not still going. This is a different stream.
Nothing out of that. Energizing.
That writer says redheads are my favorite.
Yep.
Yeah, they're up there for me too.
Ascension wheelchairs is
That's
Like
the next
Benny
step.
the Cat.
Forget the sword. We got a whole new angle here.
Oh no, not the stairs.
As you can
It's
see,
always
she does-
it's always happy when she sits down.
Yeah.
There we go. There's Alan Moore.
Yeah, there's Ellen.
Nice.
I can see the
That's the
resemblance.
lady with the sword.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's like
before
a
she gets
comparison,
cleaned
like
up.
who wore it better, right?
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah, so this is Rinsmore, Long Shadow's mystical agent slash Q helper. Rinsmore is based to the southeast of Colon Brick, and when we first meet him in the book, it is maybe 14 hours after actually being elevated by the forest god, and Long Shadow discovers him being attacked by a couple of locals who think that he's a monster.
Oh.
Cool. Darius Munchausen, good to see you, my man. Thanks for being here. Pale Rider says, I'm not switching my other account. Is Rider Inc. I don't know who Sugar Simp is, but I love it. Sorry, I had a brain fart there for a second.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
So who is this fine gentleman? Is that a gentleman?
Yeah, that's it.
Whatever
Kind of
pronouns
tell you.
you like. We need
Are you
pronouns.
assuming?
That is the Prince of Echoes in his bear form, when not currently possessing someone.
Oh.
This is gonna look very epic when it's gonna be properly colored.
Yeah, I just haven't had the time to sit down and color most of these character designs. They were designed in black and white just because I needed to give Jeff reference for what it is he'd be drawing, and but yeah, like little by little, I'm going back and adding quick coloring to all of them.
Just so you know, that wasn't a criticism. It's just like when I saw it, it immediately popped up in my head when when colored, and wow, that's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, basically, he's smoke and ash given form, and like his eye is bright red and just kind of floats there. Like,
wow, that's even better how I imagine it. I can imagine the fiery effect, but
okay,
that's probably my work. So never mind.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you.
It's like have you ever heard of a witchling from Dragonlance?
No, what's that about?
So in Dragonlance, there was a monster manual they put out, and apparently when elves become undead, like their spectral ghost form is called a witchling.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's floating eyes and sometimes skeletal hands. But
that's a really cool take. I'm not going to say exactly what or where the Prince of Echoes comes from, but I will say that there are deep ties to the Red Key, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Look out now.
Yeah. He's got that sweet ass katana. I'll take you on.
Yeah.
Jinjoni Shu.
Yeah, and we've only done a couple books, so like I've already had people be like, "Oh, so that katana is from Samurai and Dinosaurs."
Staring down a T-Rex. What's up?
Yeah.
That's available in this campaign, is it not?
Yep. Yeah. It's one of the perks.
Yeah. So I basically lifted this entire concept from Mandy. We're doing with every campaign a chibi box, and so that's a chance for new readers to catch up on all of our previous titles. And every time there's a new campaign, we're just going to add another book to the stack.
Very cool.
Sweet. I can totally see that dude with katana, telling to the terrorist, like, come closer, come closer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one and only Kelsey Shannon there. It's still one of my favorite covers of all time.
Yeah, that was a bitching cover.
Yeah, man.
And there's only 3 left, by the way.
Wow.
Schnell.
Yeah,
you had only 4 there? Come on, man.
I know. I had to be careful because like we have a couple copies up on our eBay store, which is tied to CG Now. Mm-hmm. And we're running out of our first printing of Samurai and Dinosaurs. So this may be your last chance to get a first printing, because like for the Gods Fear Me 2, that'll probably be second printing copies of Samurai and Dinosaurs and Gods Fear Me 1.
Nice. Get it before the markup on eBay. Scalpers.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I have another probing question. Why is she? I'm just guessing they're probably taking the bath in a hot tub, right, somewhere, hot bath, whatever. Why is she running away from him?
So okay. So this is directly from the opening of the book. In Colon Brick, there's a small mountain called Master Point. And ogres, in my world, ogres traditionally build their homes out of, mountains and hills, and they dig their homes by hand. So when he made his home in Colon Brick, they, allowed him to claim Master Point as his own. And he spent the next 8 years carving out a home for himself. And so Master Point has become essentially, his bat cave. And in the lower regions of Master Point, it's all hot springs. So when he gets back from a job, like first thing he does is strip and clean himself off, decompress a little bit. And the opening is literally she rises from the water with the sword drawn, so she's basically teleported directly into his lair instead of contacting him through more traditional means.
But why is she running away and not towards him?
I know. Look, Jeff made certain decisions. Jeff made a call, and I gave the okay. He didn't want to show the goods, but she could have been facing towards him.
That's more for pose purposes.
There's women nowadays.
Yeah, right.
Jeez Louise. Well, speaking of women nowadays, I want to talk about something else shortly. We'll come back to Long Shadow. But we got some sneak peeks at the new Lord of the Rings series coming up in this month.
Oh, boy.
I know you're all thrilled about it. You're all looking forward to this.
I'm ready to click it off. I'm ready to just poof.
That's supposed to be Galadriel?
I believe it is.
What?
But I'm not positive.
I
haven't read this article, and I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Did they not see Cate Blanchett? I mean,
no, I already see that logo. I already know where this leads to, and I'm ready to run.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it gets better.
That's a bummer.
No.
Got Liam in the house. What's up, Liam? Good to see you.
Alien.
Hey.
Powrider says, so why is she running away from the rusty butt plug?
Because it's not rusty enough. Come on.
Oh, little tetanus in the bum.
Tetanus.
We can all take some tetanus. But yeah, definitely gets better because now, as you can see,
my
as you can
God.
see, we went from token blacks to Tolkien blacks.
Oh
buddy.
God.
I don't understand
Mm.
why. Okay, first of all, where's her beard? Where's the beard? I want
Right.
the
Well,
beard. This is
you need
just
all
a
that
fat lady.
melanin.
Please don't tell me that the person on the right is Legolas.
No,
No,
he's probably a legless ass.
That's Don Lemon. But
No, Don Lemon. He does look like Don.
A little bit.
When,
A little bit. Yeah.
when did the dwarves need all that melanin when they're staying underground most of their lives? You know, like,
Well, an argument can be made for deep dwarves.
you mean the ashen gray ones from?
Yeah, yeah, you know, close to volcanic regions, maybe. I mean, who knows? There could be reasons for it. I doubt they have any, because you know, if you explain those reasons, that's racist. Because
all I can hear is E-Tep. Yeah, baby.
No, I mean, but there's like a serious reason. Like most of the dwarfs that have been portrayed were portrayed as gingers, right, with pale skin for that
Well,
specific reason.
They're a Scandinavian construct. Scandinavians aren't black. You know, the Dwarger, the origins of the dwarf were originally Italian people. You know, the Scandinavians saw these short, industrious, you know.
Chris, stop
people-
making sense. That's not what this is about.
It's not
I
at
know.
all what this is about.
What did Tolkien and Wagner and everybody else, you know, what did they know?
Chris,
We're-
get hands, put them on the table, just grab straight and do like.
Yeah, I know, flip the card table.
We're only on this briefly, right, Kitty? Don't worry.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Brutal Morningwood says they need the handicap representation. Legless.
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 The battle wheelchair.
Oh my God.
Be hopping those falling bricks. Boing, boing, boing.
And
Not
this is just
even-
bad imagery altogether. Like, dude has a modern haircut, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like somebody pointed out earlier, I mean, as bad as I think it was the Dungeons and Dragons movie. Maybe it wasn't that.
The Wayans brothers one.
No, it
Yes,
wasn't that.
that classic.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, there was a black female elf in that, correct?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And she was
Yeah.
actually looked like an elf, like done well. This does not look like an elf. He's got a square face. It's like Don Lemon
Right.
as an elf. Like, I mean, elves have certain characteristics, certain features, and I'm just not seeing them here.
I mean, look, my take on this stuff is like, I'd say all the, like, you know, race baiting stuff is upsetting, but not a deal breaker for me. The upsetting stuff is how obviously blatantly they're going to disregard so much of what's already established by the man who created it himself. And, you know, as far as like diversity goes, like, you know, if you want to build your own fantasy world and,
Yeah,
you know,
by all
have it,
means.
by all means, I don't care. Like there's stuff that I'm into that has like more, I guess, quote unquote diverse, you know, cast members in it, and it's fine. I don't care, but you know what you're doing when you drop all of this into something that's associated with Lord of the Rings. You know what you're
It's
doing.
propaganda. It
Well,
frustrates me.
They knew
Sorry.
exactly what they were doing, because I don't have it up, but I saw another article talking about how the developers for this planned for outrage.
Right.
Yep.
So they're basically planning outrage.
Right.
I'm not even outraged. I mean, it's not anger. It's apathy. It's like, whatever. You guys screwed it up. I don't care.
Can I
Yeah.
call Chris out and ask him to pull closer that beautiful elvish lady that he has in the background?
Do it, Chris. You're being called out.
Yes, I'm
My,
Yeah,
my
right, Kitty. That was
poster
actually
board.
very good.
My
Yes.
poster board of
That's how an elf should look like. There.
well, that's the thing is, like, if you want to make black elves, like, they don't exist in the Tolkien world, but like, if you want to make, like, if you've ever read Elf Quest, there were the sun elves and they were black. They were
Sure.
dark. Like, make that. Like, I would want to see that. I'm a big fan of Richard and Wendy Pini. I have their books like right here. What the hell? Like, you know, like, let's make this. But don't shit all over Tolkien's work and be like, you know, we're correcting his wrongs. No, you don't know more than this guy. This guy was a professor. You remember that big SmackDown quote when somebody was like trying to correct him about the proper grammatic thing or whatever? And he's like, dude, I wrote the book. Don't correct me on this crap. Like,
Right.
and that's what they're doing here. It's I know better. It's like a bunch of spoiled kids with their propaganda bullshit.
Yeah, it's not about. It's never about let's look for the right property. It's never about that. It's about undermining something that's established and popular with propaganda.
Correct.
Deconstruction is
Or
That's all it's
create
ever
a
about.
property, which they're incapable of doing.
Yes.
yeah.
Because they don't have a creative bone in their bodies.
No, commies can't create. They can only co-opt.
Right.
Right. Kitty says there was an article saying that racists weren't allowed to watch the show, which basically confirms they were waiting for outrage. Yeah.
Yeah, they put up the He-Man Girl Haters Club sign. Like, that's all it was. No boys allowed. Like, okay.
Yeah, and it's always that thing of like, if I'm a racist and I have a Hispanic wife and a mixed race kid, I must be doing a really bad job of it. Like,
exactly. Yeah. It's just so frustrating when they do this because
right.
it's so frustrating that they're doing it to the show. Because like, as far as I'm concerned, it's like I'm that kid in The Simpsons is like, it's already dead. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, you know, that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is the revisionism.
Right.
Is the future generations will be like, oh, I want to go. You know, did you hear about the Lord of the Rings? Oh yeah, that was the one with like the black elves and dwarves and stuff, and like and it's like no, that's not the Lord of the Rings. That's Amazon's Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah, I can't remember.
Ghostbusters.
I can't remember who said the quote, but it's that whole thing of like, you know, what do you think of what they did to your books? They didn't do anything. My books are right there on the shelf. Like, you know, I've got my Tolkien shelf with all that stuff up there, and then on the film shelf, I've got my 4K set of Lord of the Rings and to a far lesser degree the Hobbit trilogy, and that's kind of it for me. Like, I'm just like, that's the end of the story.
Yep. Same here.
Yeah, agreed. What about says no one should care about this racism convo, period.
I agree.
That's kind of it, man. Yeah, I mean, there's a list of words that's getting longer and longer that no longer have meaning. Racism is at the top of that list. Science just slid into the bottom.
I was just saying that, like, for example, in Africa, there are so many cultures and tribes with so many great stories. I believe that, but they are not written. Most of them are not written there because they are passing like orally, right, from generation to generation. Just imagine they would do something like that, you know, in a movie, making it a legend.
Yeah, like in the Red Key, I'm going to be building up this supporting character called Victorious, and he's kind of like an African folk, you know, culture take on Shazam. Like, I just studied the African pantheon of gods and, you know, kind of distilled them down into this one character. And like, there's so much fascinating stuff, and I just don't, like you said, I just don't understand why they don't ever pull from some of that stuff culturally.
Because they're racist. They've been caught saying nobody's gonna want to see this crap.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you know? How do you know?
And they're too busy pulling on themselves and their own ego.
And another thing, just imagine, for example, the legends of Egypt, right? The Egypt pantheon. Can you imagine a Scandinavian person, a very, very pale person, just portraying any of their gods?
Right.
See the difference?
Well, the difference is obvious. It's a 100% hypocrisy. I mean, yeah, like just that. I don't know. I was going to do a video on this, but I don't know if I want to, just because I don't know if I want to go into it that deeply. But that new Showtime show they're coming out with about, you know, Whitey is bad yet again.
Oh God, yeah,
like,
everything will be all white.
Yeah, like all they do throughout that entire. They have a minute long, maybe a little more of previews from the show, and it's nothing but people tearing down white people and saying they're worthless, you know, and they're responsible for slavery. And then you have comments below that with people saying, "Oh, well, you're gonna tear it down already, and you haven't even watched the show." Well, yeah, because the entire promotion is aimed at how horrible white people are.
It's like Marxist propaganda.
If I made a show called Black People, am I right? Like, I wouldn't expect a single black person to watch it. Like,
yeah, and you can definitely expect them to get pissed off.
Right.
The thing
Right.
that gives me hope is a lot of the commentary channels that I've seen, like black YouTubers, like I love Gothics. She watched it and she's like, this is crap. Like this is not going to bring anybody together. This is designed specifically to divide people.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is hateful, incendiary propaganda to piss people off. That's all it is. And I've seen other like black commentators as well. They have the YouTube channels. They're watching it and they're just like I can't wait to see Tyrone Magnus hit this one. You know, where he's like, what the hell is this? Like, it's just dumping all over Whitey. Like, okay, and then what? Like, you know, you're just bitching about a problem that most of us aren't even really worried about anymore. Like,
Right.
That's it. That's it. What about says they get to be racist against you while calling you racist?
Yep.
No sane person should be playing that game. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
amen.
Absolutely.
And thankfully, I think little by little people are snapping out of it.
Yeah, well,
I think they are.
I'm getting sick of it.
Yeah, you get tired of it after a while. Like even a lot of people have just been playing the game and just going along with it.
It's
I
like,
see a lot of those people are getting sick of it too.
Right.
Because
Right.
it's tiresome. Everybody knows it's a lie. Everybody knows none of it's true, you know, and it's just it's old. We're done with it.
Yeah, if white people were really this like, you know, monolith that hated like black people in particular, and they were these vastly oppressive, superior, whatever, why are there still black people in existence? You know what I mean? Like if they're this big monolithic, oppressive, like the Empire in Star Wars, they would have just wiped them all out, you know? And it's like that's the American Civil War disproved this. I mean, a lot of Union soldiers fought and died for the liberty of their fellow Americans who happen to be black. Like,
Right.
you know, it's like if they all hated you, they wouldn't have been advocating for your freedom. I'm sorry, but
There's this great bit from the late great Patrice O'Neill where like he made some joke about white people, and he was like, "That's wrong. Like I can stand up here and say whatever the hell I want about white people, and you just have to go like, we're the worst." Like,
yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, we don't.
Yeah, well, that's the paradigm though in modern post-Marxist America is white people are being like kids. There's that little British kid that killed himself, you know,
Right.
because he was taught to hate himself. His whole like, there's something wrong with you, little straight white boy. You know, let me tell you about it. And they have an entire system telling them. And then on top of that, the other side of the coin is if you're growing up black, you're being constantly spoon-fed that you're inferior, that like you're being cheated out of things. And it's like, no, you're at the table next to me. You're not waiting somewhere else. Like if somebody's telling you you don't deserve to be here, but I'll let you in, those are the people you flip the bird and get away from, you know?
right.
Yeah, it's effed up messaging all around. You're absolutely right. Like some of the messages that are sent to young black kids are just obscene. It's terrible, and they're coming from like their own family, you know, because they buy into this crap, and then they pass it on to the younger generations and tell them you're never going to get ahead in this world because of your skin color. What
Right.
the fuck kind of message is that to send to your kids?
Well,
Like,
seriously,
how messed up do you have to be in your brain to put that in your kid's head?
Right.
Even if
Yeah.
you believe it, why would you tell them that?
Yeah, it's disgusting. And you know, like this is one of the things I agree with someone like Eric July on with this Lord of the Rings stuff, where it's like,
Hell yeah.
this is it's distilled a little bit, but it's still essentially sloppy seconds, right?
Yep. Hand-me-downs.
We're not going to give you your own show with your own mythology and let it build up and become this epic franchise that people love for decades and decades. We're just going to give you a couple roles that aren't really, you know, designed for you in the first place, and we're going to call that equality. Like that ain't shit.
No, it's cheating them out of their own cultures too. You know, like what NyRiam said. Like we've got an entire continent of mythos to draw from.
Right.
Not a single Westerner knows any of that shit.
Right. Yeah, and again, like from the little research that I did, I'm telling you, it's fascinating.
It is. There's some really cool shit there, and we saw a little bit of it when they started exploring Wakanda. You see
Right.
how many people came out of the woodwork for that, and they weren't all black.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the most intriguing books to me when I, you know, just was fresh into role playing, like in D&D back in the day, was the Legends and Lore, because that was just like pantheons of all the different deities of all kinds of different cultures. It's just really, really interesting shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's tons of stories to be told that they're not telling. I don't get it. I don't know why they would prefer to just, swap out historically white characters for people of color, when people of color, I mean, lots of them, lots and lots and lots of them all around the world have their own unique cultures and, histories to pull from, their own mythologies that we're not hearing anything about.
Mhm.
Who's the racist?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel bad because like when I was doing my role playing game back in the 90s and stuff, and we had like the New Book of Knowledge and the Encyclopedia Britannica, and it did have like African tribes and mythology and stuff. Like I pulled from some of that. Like there's this group called the Halali, which is I think it's Swahili for the reclaimers, and they're like these badass magic users that aren't I guess confined by the same academia as the order. So their magic is more like naturalist. Like it's hard to explain, but they basically embraced the chaos, and as a result, they've risen through it and become like this super powerful. So now you have these two magic factions that are like, you should follow the rules, and it's fuck your rules, and it's
Sure.
and it was and it's based off of the research that I've seen in all these different Tibas or whatever the tribes of these ancient Africa, like the Nubians, and there's so much there. Like hell, like even Ethiopia had like, I think it has like a sect of Christianity or something that's like got text that's older than anything in Europe. Like, why aren't we looking at that stuff? Like,
and just imagine, like, if you want to create something based on real life and a little bit horror, like, remember the tribe that doesn't let anybody near their coast?
Oh yeah, the Sentinelese.
Right?
Yeah, all kinds out there. But don't any of you dare tell those stories yourselves, because you ain't black. You'll get canceled for trying to bring light to their culture.
Like that Sifu, the game developers there that made Sifu there.
Right, they're going through the ringer now.
Yeah, you didn't consult any Asians. Okay, first of all, not all Asians know martial arts. Second of all, Sifu is Chinese. So when you say Asians, you should say Chinese, because Kung Fu is Chinese. You're not going to catch me Koreans with Taekwondo,
right,
or Kumdo. We're not going to go for that stuff. But it's so frustrating because it's pigeonholing people into these neat little boxes, and the game looks awesome.
It does. It looks great. I've heard from sane people that it's like so far game of the year caliber.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say hi to Dave. How you doing, man? He's absolutely right. It's because we have been having this conversation.
Yeah,
basically.
Probably longer than 7 years at this point. Metal movies and brewskis. Yeah, this is actually my biggest problem with all of the imagery. I mean, Gimli was romanticizing about these female beards, and where is it?
Nothing to grab onto.
Nothing. Awesome one. What's up, man? Says I thought that was a statue with a living head. Pretty close. Glenzer, what's up, man? He's fresh to the chat. He hasn't even heard the Don Lemon comments, and here he comes. See? Yep. Obvious.
I'm not the only one that sees it.
What's up, Glenzer? Simon says Blade was a freaking hit and the original first Black Marvel character on screen before Black Panther.
Yes.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes.
Watch what you're saying, man. You're not allowed to remember Blade. That never happened.
Yeah, again, like anything that existed like a year or two before these people were born doesn't count for anything.
Not at all.
Those motherfuckers trying to skate uphill.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of cool stories to be had.
Right?
I wish we could get some of those.
I'd watch
just
that movie.
imagine, like some of them can even like become legends. Like Arthurian legend, has become a thing. Like these can have the potential to become legends in 15, 20 years.
Absolutely, and all being ignored.
Yep.
Yeah, because they got
who's the
tell
racist?
Europeans. Well, they got to tell European stories and cast black people as them. Hell, even our history now. I mean, Anne Boleyn is now black according to the BBC. Or one of the...
maybe they have a point that they are trying to erase our history and replace it with something that,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the real goal, which is just retarded.
And the worst part is a kid will come to school, and he's gonna try to learn some history, and they're gonna tell him, and no, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, Awesome says I've been to 30 plus countries. I claim all those nationalities. I've lived it. There you go, man. Tell the
Nice.
stories.
There
There it is.
you
Lasso Truth, what's up? Thanks for being here.
Hey,
Good to
Lasso.
see you.
Hey.
Gap Stargate, what's up, man? It says that's why Amazon is raising our Prime membership to pay for this garbage because
They
they're
are
going to lose $1 billion.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Get
think
woke,
you're
go
right.
broke.
And George Washington was black.
I see you see the musical.
Yeah, that one kind of
Hamilton.
bothered me too, Sim. She is quite obviously fat, not just, bulky and blocky.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fat. Look at those arms.
Yeah.
Look at his hands, for crying out loud. Those sausage fingers. Damn it, now I'm really analyzing this. Thanks, Sim.
The lopsided hair.
You better watch your salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kidney failure.
Mike, are you up there telling a person of color how they should eat?
Yeah. What did the kids say? Based? I don't care.
Isn't she like a I'm gonna say the word. Isn't she a dwarf?
Yeah, that's a
Like
dwarf.
Yeah, but don't they have like a little bit different build due
Yes.
to
Yeah,
how short they are?
You would think.
I wonder what Peter Dinklage thinks of all this.
Oh.
He's probably screaming somewhere in the corner.
Well, I mean, he obviously can't take that role, right? Well,
Oh,
first of
please
all, he's
tell
not a
me.
woman, but secondly, you can't have short people on film calling them dwarves. You can't do
Right.
that.
You know what would have been a perfect clip is if you had that South Park clip of, I wonder what Peter Dinklage is thinking about this. And also it cuts to, you see, words are like bullets.
I don't have that, but I have something close.
Oh, did I hurt its little feelings?
Who put the bow tie on it? That's not fair.
I know other people have talked about it. I love how and I think it was intentional to a certain degree, but the unintentional consequences of Peter Dinklage putting a whole bunch of little people out of work
Yeah.
with that
Yeah.
one comment.
Yeah.
I'm like, you
Hornswoggle
just
was there.
cost
Yes.
everybody a bunch of money. Thanks.
Yep.
Hashtag don't be a Dinklage.
Yep. Don't be a Dinklage.
Oh. Some fight words.
Yeah, well, it's true. I mean, he was only thinking of himself when he shot his mouth off of that. I mean, there are plenty of people that are like looking forward to these movies, going, dude, I was born for this role. Oh, nope, now they're recasting it. It's magical creatures, Mud Brown and the magical creatures. Like it's not about dwarfs anymore.
This
Yeah,
is gonna
that's
mean
fair.
this is going to mean nothing to anybody, but like when I was talking about Peter Dinklage, my son just wandered into the room and stared at me like, "You talking about Peter Dinklage?" and then walked out.
There it
You
is.
can dig it.
What up, my N-words?
Hey,
What's up, Vinny? How you doing? And what's up, Miriam Spirit? Good to see you, man. How you doing? Do you have any hot takes on this that aren't going to get my channel hit?
Oh my god, what the hell am I looking at?
This is the Lord of the Rings. This is their dwarf and elf. Look, Don Lemon is an elf.
yeah, you're
Is
looking
that
at
the
their.
Hobbit in the middle?
No, that's the dwarf.
Oh, that's a dwarf too. Okay,
Yeah,
if they say so.
you're looking at their progressive future, my friend.
If
Yeah.
them say so.
Yeah.
I think it's time. We need a black Mandalorian that's a midget. It's time. That's it.
That is the way.
That is.
I agree. I mean, they tried with Grogu, right? But
Right.
he didn't quite fit the bill.
He was too Asian.
I was going to say
Green
too
lives matter.
green, but
Oh,
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like Asians are whatever they want to be. on
What
any
you
given
trying to
day.
say, Guilo?
that's right. She.
Sorry, this is way off
Sorry.
topic, but the Amazon show Reacher is pretty good. It is pretty good.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never read
I've
those
heard.
novels, but I did watch it, and it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, I gotta watch them.
I'm episode 4 now, and dude, I'm loving it. Like, it blows my mind that same kind of show can come from what's doing this to the Lord of the Rings. Like that dude is like an
Yeah.
Uber Chad. Like how? Like you were not allowed to have straight white men, especially Uber Chads. Like
That's right. Because usually, if you're an action star, you need to bend the knee to China.
Right.
And tell everybody that Taiwan's not a country.
Well, that's actually that Reacher is actually a good example of another studio who actually, I know it's Amazon and they're questionable at this point, but another studio that actually listened to the fans, because when the Tom Cruise Jack Reacher movie came out, the fans of that were really pissed off because he was nothing like the character. He didn't fit the bill at all, and they really didn't like it. So they came back with this and addressed the fans' concerns, and everyone's praising it. So, I mean, it's really not that difficult. You just stay true to the source material, make the fans happy, and you're good to go.
Exactly.
Not a difficult recipe.
See, Tom Cruise belongs in this show because no CGI required. You know, he's got a nose like them as well. His nose is the same size as that first guy there.
Is he gonna be a dwarf or an elf?
Hobbit. He'll be a hobbit.
He'll be a hobbit or some kind of.
Maybe he's biracial. It's an elf dwarf.
I'm sure. Robert.
No, I think
Robert.
I think he's definitely drinking that water in Jersey. I don't think he's bi.
Little moves and says that dude is He-Man. He should.
Yeah,
be.
That dude is.
He
huge,
definitely
man.
should be. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Well, he was in Titans. He played the Hawk and Dove thing, and the dude was big there. But I was like, okay, whatever. He's a superhero. And then you see him in this, and it's like, okay, I know some of those actors that he's standing next to, and they're my height. And they look like ants next to him, and I'm 6 feet. So
yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I need to pull this comment because it's priceless. I'm sorry. It is.
Nothing about that is okay.
Wow,
it's priceless.
I'm gonna bury that stuff, man.
What about enjoyed the Tom Cruise Jack Reacher? To each their own, man. I didn't actually watch that. I know a couple people who are like big time Reach fans, and yeah, I got to hear all about that and how much they hated it.
I didn't know. I've seen the movies, and maybe this is another hot take that's not popular opinion, but I don't mind Tom Cruise as an actor. I don't think he's bad. I like him as an action star. He's just
not
really
as an actor, no, but he's one of those actors where every role is Tom Cruise. Kind of like Will Smith. Yep. Every role,
it's not a character. It's him,
right? You see him having a tantrum everywhere.
Oh, like that was it the mask one that he had where he flipped out on his crew?
Yeah. What a spaz.
Yep. See, everyone sees Don Lemon in this elf.
Yep.
So it's gonna suck. Yeah, Don Lemon certainly sucks. So
Don
not just because he's a lemon.
Lemon.
Awesome one said I enjoyed Live, Die, Repeat. What was that movie called?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Is that what it was? I can't remember.
I think,
it was okay, but it kind of lost me somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Simon says Tiny Tom.
Words are like bullets.
I thought Oblivion was interesting. That was kind of a.
Oblivion was okay. Yeah.
That was a good movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I've seen some movie that you have seen.
What's up, Froggy? Good to see you, man.
Frog G, you're on time.
What up, Frog G?
Hey, Frog G.
Heck yes. Well, real quickly, let's get back to the reason for the season. That is Long Shadow.
Hey.
Mike, for anybody new to the chat, can you give them a quick rundown again about what this is all about?
You got it. So Long Shadow is your new favorite detective for hire. He operates out of a high fantasy world in the kingdom of Elos. He lives in the small town of Colon Brick and operates out of a tavern there called Amberglass. One evening, a mystical, mysterious woman appears and offers him a job. And that job is to track down, uncover the secrets of, and ultimately destroy the Prince of Echoes, a horrible force of nature that's kind of terrorizing the countryside. And so this one's going to come in at 112 pages, including spot illustrations by Jeff Lasley. We're going to have a prequel novella called A Murder in Amberglass, which will also have spot illustrations. And the biggest thing that I haven't spent a lot of time talking about is if we can hit funding and then hit 8K, which is our first main stretch goal, we're also going to be including a world guide featuring some of your favorite artists from CG and the indie sphere, including Narwhal, Donald DeLay, Pete, a whole bunch of people have signed on to this. And it's going to be designed to look and feel like a D&D monster manual from the 80s.
Nice.
Beautiful. Yeah, let's hit that stretch goal, folks. But first, let's get funded.
Yeah, let's focus on funding.
Got 10
So
days,
you
man.
posted earlier, 60 more backers. We'll get this funded.
Yeah.
So let's do it, folks.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm going to be hustling hard these next 10 days. I've got some other streams lined up. I'll be on with Red Gaze next week. His audience is really great and always supportive. So
you're on with Red Gaze right now, Mike.
Not Red Gaze. Sorry.
I thought we were gonna have you on again.
But this audience is great and supportive.
They are great and supportive. No. Because I was thinking of my dude that did I'm totally blanking. Golden.
Raging Golden Eagle.
Raging Golden Eagle. Thank you.
Nice.
I mean, he's probably a step below Red Gaze, but close enough.
Yeah.
My brain
I
just.
don't know about that Red Gaze guy though.
Yeah, he's all right.
One day he'll get there. So
my brain just totally shit the bed. Sorry, sorry, Red.
That's Thursday.
It happens. Yeah, you're in the midst of a new campaign. It's chaos. I understand.
We were talking about a woke property before, so maybe
that's
did it.
true too.
Yeah, that's
all that Don Lemon talk really got into his head.
Did you say brown lemon?
He just felt the need to start spewing misinformation because Don Lemon was on his brain.
I was I was with family during New Year's, and we were watching like one of those countdowns, and Don Lemon was just hanging out like drunk out of his mind, and like this was like not too long after all those allegations, and you're just the whole time I'm just watching it like, please just keep drinking, get so drunk that you just say something that you know you shouldn't be saying. Like he was so close a couple times.
Oh, careful, you'll spill your beverages.
Yep.
I want to say hello, Bobby Campbell. What's up, man? Sorry about your account. That sucks. His account was terminated.
What?
I don't know why his. I'm a wrench over here, and I'm seeing his comments constantly being like forced into review. So
weird.
I'm like, there's
YouTube
no
for
swears in there. There's he didn't say anything bad.
YouTube for you. It's probably G4. He put G4.
That's a trigger word.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. Closer says, dude with a mohawk looks a little like Jeffrey Zucker.
Nice. I am the gray cyclone.
Right. I'll take it.
I think all someone's testing here is that one being hidden for review.
Yeah, that one's fine.
Well, thanks for the test, man. Tell you what, I'm going to take this down and bring it back up and play the trailer.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Sorry, this takes me a little dicking around here. I know nobody likes to hear that sound. Okay, here we go. Cool,
Sweet.
cool. All right, Tommy's got a jet. He's getting ready for his show. Everybody, don't forget, in about 15 minutes or so, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, along with Vinnieart, will be hosting Collectible Past. So go check that out on Tommy's channel. We'll link that before the show is done. Actually, if anybody in the chat, any wrenches have that link, feel free to post it in there. Thank you very much.
Is it a
And
time?
guys, it is the time, actually. Yeah, I'm going to say, everybody make sure that you get out there and back Long Shadow. The link is in the description below. And it is time now for Katie to throw out some interesting questions. Just wait 1 second.
Okay. So this wild card is going to be very special because one of them is prepared for our special guest Mike.
Okay.
And one of them got to me from Frog G himself, you know,
Uh-oh.
and it's going to be a question for everybody. So first, Mike, your wild question is, what's the kindest thing, what's the weirdest thing a guest has done in your house?
Okay, no, I got this one.
Just taking you back to your punk band days.
No, but like I'll tell you a story about like playing a college show and having it raided by the cops and having to hide in a secret room underneath some stairs someday. I'll tell you about that one. No, the weirdest thing a guest has ever done in my house is we were letting a friend of the family live with us while they relocated to Portland, and she decided there was a knock at the door at like 6 a.m, and Selena and I were passed out, like we completely slept through this. She decided to open the door and just let this person in, having no idea who they were or what they wanted. So
that's a bad idea.
Yeah,
really bad idea. Could have gone really bad. Like, turned out it was just one of our neighbors from the apartment complex who got locked out, and like she was just going door to door because it was like freezing cold out, and like she had to wait for the locksmith to appear. But yeah, like we kind of woke up to like voices in our house, and we step out and there's this complete stranger standing, you know, in our living room. We had to talk with that family friend as soon as that person left. Like, you do not just open our door.
They probably thought, well, they did it. Why shouldn't I?
Could have been the government with crack pipes.
Right.
Free crack pipes.
By the way, that person is no longer a family friend.
Oh.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
But before we get to the last question, Katie, I want to give Chris and Vinny a chance to discuss their campaigns real quick. Well, we got Infinitale Chronicles, The War of the Trees. Number 1 is still in demand. Fisk, tell them why they should get this immediately.
Okay. If you're a fan of fantasy that harkens back to like 80s and 90s Saturday morning cartoons and anime, I think you'll really like this. It has a bit of a Dungeons and Dragons flavor to it, but it's not quite. It's kind of dark fantasy. If you like elves, you'll love this. If you hate elves, you'll really love this because they get messed up really badly. It's got a bit of the old ultra violence in it. And it's 10 books in 30 years in the making. And book 1 here is a nice spot to just jump in right at the ground level to get the story, or at least to get the kind of the beginning parts, because it's kind of like an origin story of the elves. We don't really get much of that in fantasy. We kind of just take them as a trope for granted, like, oh yeah, they're the mystical fae people or whatever. Whereas we actually, in this story, kind of explore their origins into like why they're magical. You know, how did they become these spiritual beings? So there's that. And then I'm currently working on the production or pre-production for book 2. We should have the mailing campaign launch very soon. Recently had a 600 follower milestone reached on the Twitter, and gave away, I'll be announcing soon, the 4 lucky winners, or the 4 lucky followers who got the nice holofoil card from, see if I can show it in quick enough time here. It is right here. It was made by NyRiam, and
No.
Oh, nice.
yeah, colored by me, and yeah, double-sided. It's got the
Yes.
Hell
some
yeah.
information. And yeah, I'm working with an artist right now who's, he's a pro. He's got some amazing work in his background. I don't want to give away too much yet because I want to have some stuff to show before we announce anything. But wow, yeah, I gave him the first 10 pages of book 2, and he seemed really happy with it. So yeah, I can't wait to see more of his test pages.
Awesome. Beautiful,
Hell yeah.
man. So yeah, check out Infinite Tale Chronicles. Frog G has the link in the chat right there. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thanks, Mike.
Awesome.
And also, do not forget, I know you got to go, Vinny. Shadow of the Kraken is still in demand as well. Vinny's working his ass off on this.
That's right, man.
Help the good people.
I'm painting the last handful of pages, so there's a ton of detail in them, but we're there, man, because the pencils and inks are all done. I can't wait to get this into your hands because one of the best books of the last bunch of years, I'm going to say. Some of the top tier level work I've been doing. I'm damn proud of it. So yeah, if you guys are into classic pirate stories, it has everything you need in it. In a classic pirate story, you get the treasure map that's actually carved into the skull. There's going to be twists and turns all over the place. We're going to follow the main characters, see their journey and their struggles and how that life is. They're being pursued by a very nasty villain as well. You'll find out more about him. And there's a supernatural twist in this as well. So yeah, I want to go more traditional with it, with the story, with the location, with all of that. So you're going to see pirates from history are also going to be popping up in the series. We have a cameo or two in the first book, but I'm damn proud of this thing. So if you want to back a fantastic book, this thing is 52 pages, and we got awesome acrylic standees as well attached to the campaign now as well. This is thanks to Chris Fisk, man, dude. I got his, loved it. He helped me with this, and we cranked out some very, very cool stuff here. And I think I'm going to be doing it on all my campaigns from here on out. So you could get at least one character from each of my books. So keep following these campaigns, keep following the books, and you'll have a collection of characters from Mela Art World. And it's a beautiful thing.
So is that.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many pages I want to show people and I can't because it's all spoilers.
Well, they're just going to have to get it and see for themselves.
That's right. Get it now. You heard the gaze.
Grab Shadow of the Kraken. Absolutely, man. Yeah, Vinny puts out nothing but the finest. So if you have not backed this, you're missing out. It's going to be fulfilled very, very soon. So get on it.
Thank you, brother.
Yep.
Thank you again, Frog G. I appreciate that, man.
Dude, you rock, Frog G. I'm going to jump because Tommy, I'm pretty sure, had sent me the link. And yes, he has. He's been waiting. So I'm going to go.
All right. Later, Vinny.
All right, everybody. Yeah, hey, great seeing you, Mike. Later,
Good seeing you,
everybody.
man.
See you,
Bye.
Vinny. Thanks for stopping in.
Of course, man.
And last but not least, I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't say, go get Sunswarm Wings of Vengeance. It's in demand right now. If you missed out on the novels, I scraped up a few more. I got 10 more novels here available from Edge of Annihilation. I also throw up a digital tier that contains Edge of Annihilation and the visual companion, the original one.
Wait, Chris.
Yeah. Well, we don't have Vinny here to say ladies love him thick.
Bad.
Remember that.
Bad. But we do have this.
The ladies love it thick. Remember that.
Remember that.
Oh, I love technology.
So yeah, guys, if you're into epic space fantasy adventure, this is it. This is the end all be all. Ask Pale Rider, he'll tell you. But yeah, thanks everyone who's supported the campaign and the channel. You guys just rock. I love being here with you guys. Need to make that more of a habit, actually. And we're going to. Oh, look at Fisk just breaking it out.
Oh yeah. Look at that. I mean, we got the super rare black and white. Is this one still available or is this gone?
There is literally one left in the Sirens of Sunsworn tier.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. One left to the black and white edition. And then we got where is it? There we go. We got the Vinny version, and we got the NyRiam version. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I backed all three. And yeah, it's definitely. I mean, this is insane. Like, you get the cards. Like, I mean, come on. Like, it's actually a super
And
super awesome
amazing
feel.
colors inside covers, colors from Mika from Barbusco Studios. We need to add
Absolutely.
that.
Do we still have the mini prints too? Because I got those up all on my wall.
Oh yeah, those come with every one of them.
Hell yeah!
The mini prints of the covers come with every purchase. Sirens of Sunsworn is the only tier where you get those particular prints. But yeah, and thank you, Rat Kitty. Thank you very much.
Get in this nice, lovely box. Because come on, guys, we all love boxes.
This is like a walking promotion.
Yep. But listen, we're gonna make a standee out of him.
Make
Oh,
up
give
this
me a right.
standee. Good evening, Blue Teddy Narrations. We're about to wrap it up here. But yeah, everybody, don't forget to go check out Vinny and Tommy on Collectible Past. It's going to be happening in just 5 minutes. So yeah, we're going to make a rush here to wrap it up. But do not forget to check out Long Shadow. It's a high fantasy pulp novel by our man Mike Murphy.
Thanks so much.
You know, Mike puts out the goods. And if
That's
you don't,
what I do, man. And
he
thanks
puts
for
out the
having me on.
goods. Absolutely, man. Culture says, "Don't just remember, my hair is in there too."
Yeah.
Culture is a drawn-in character in Sunsworn Wings and Engines.
Definitely.
Thank you, Culture. But yeah, Mike, thanks for being here, man. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank
Oh,
you.
Katie, you got a few more things to show. I can't wrap up just yet.
Oh.
I'm just gonna quickly show one of them, and because I kind of do think there's a very interesting number in that, and that's gonna be the traditional that I'm currently working on. I just started penciling it. It's gonna get inked, but the number I wanted to show is this one over here. I think you can translate it. Those are inches.
Yeah, 23 by 34.
31.
31.
So yeah, that's gonna be a traditionally fully inked piece for the next campaign of Bonds.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one, and hopefully they will be able to get distributed very safely in those black tubes that I showed you on the previous stream. And if I have time, I'm planning to work on at least one more. So we'll see. But there are definitely going to be like smaller versions, of the traditionals again. And of course, I promised one for Infinite Tales 2.
Oh.
And I promised one for Sunsworn as well. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Now, there you have a Frog G question to ask before we go.
Yep. Frog G question.
Right.
Seriously, that was the best question I ever got. And just give me a wild guess. How many slaps do you need to cook a chicken?
To cook a chicken. Slaps.
Give me a number, guys. Give me a number. And while you're trying to guess, I'm just gonna quickly share the screen so I know how it works.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I noticed somebody said they got the 12 Gays of Christmas version of Sunsworn too.
Oh, someone did. Yes. Thank you, my friend.
Okay.
So these are the slaps Katie was referring to.
What the hell?
So
What is the official answer to that question?
you didn't give me your wild guesses.
Over 1,000?
I was just
Okay.
going to say one to slap it into the oven. Like,
Yeah. Get in there.
Okay, you already know what kind of slaps we are talking about. So
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with like 1,200.
yeah, sure.
okay, so it's exactly 135,000 slaps to cook
Okay, I
chicken.
was way off.
Okay.
I am bitch with the slap chop.
Yep. And
You're gonna
also,
love my nuts.
I would like to ask the chat, maybe even Frog G, like if you have some interesting, funny, strange, weird, pervy question you want to ask our guests, you can just DM me, and I will ask it for you
Sure.
because I don't care.
Cap Stargate says, "Can we slap the monkey?"
Of course, always.
All right. Well, on that beautiful note, Blue Teddy says, "Dang, here I was going to say 5." 5 million. Yeah, Tommy and Vinny are getting ready to start in under a minute, so we're gonna head out. Mikey, thank you for being here, my friend.
Thanks so
Hail
much.
the chat. Thank you all for being here and being so supportive of these projects. Check out all the links in the description below. I'm going to add a few in just a minute. And yeah, see you over at Tommy's.
And please go there and at least say hi, hit the like, just go and support them.
Give them a hashtag gays community.
Yes.
Gays raid.
Gays raid.
Peace. Gays raid.
It was a good one.
Oh, man.
Oh shit, we're still live.
Are we still live?
We're still live. I didn't hit it.
We're
twice.
still live.
Peace out, everyone. Love you guys.